Welcome, Inner Voice Power special with a case study today. And today I want to share about someone who had a trait of withdrawal. So at one hand, this person was putting a lot of efforts, trying really, to do everything what was needed in his job. But when he has had a tendency, when things got too tough and there were too many, then an overwhelmness was kicking in, and the person had then the tendency to withdraw. That means withdrawal has a lot of phases. People can withdraw in many ways. It means just in the essence that the person is taking himself out of actually the situation at hand, as much as he can. This can be by clearing the mind, watching videos, series. It is also possible that you plan unimportant meetings. You are not making your priorities well anymore. You kind of avoid conflicting talks that can perhaps be giving solutions, but you don't do. Your mind is kind of telling you that other things are more important. You can perhaps also just have an idea and you're working for hours on it and you just forget about the things at hand that are important. All this is falling under withdrawal. So you are going out of the situation that is stressful for you in order to cope with overwhelmness. And withdrawal can also be that you feel very tired. A big level of withdrawal is, of course, that when you getting a burnout, you lacking concentration, so you are tired, making mistakes also. So in a way, this is also this is also not the making mistakes, but the other aspects are also withdrawal. So withdrawal has a lot of phases, always depending on the situation and, of course, the totality of the traits and possibilities that you are used to. Some people get also ill, ill not in the way that they perhaps have serious illnesses, but they have a migraine or a back pain or something like that, which forces them in a way to get out. So they are having in their lives only been allowed to withdraw when they were sick, and other excuses were never working for them. So in this case, the person had also a tendency to withdraw by setting wrong priorities, spending a lot of time on things that were not important, because this is what was more peaceful to the mind. But of course, you can imagine that this kind of withdrawal is not a solution on the workplace. It backfires, of course, and you get more problems than before when you don't face them. And the person was aware of that this was happen, and a burnout was close by. So when she knew, when she came to know me and she came to work with the NEWEX approach, where we are, and people who are watching more of these case studies, where we are so much aware that every single trait that you have inside of you has the capacity to be constructive and destructive. In this case, it was destructive. The withdrawal was lived in a destructive way. That is not conducive for yourself and also not for others. So, yet we know in the NEWEX approach that every single capacity also has has a way to be constructive for you, meaning it works for you and it works for others. This case, withdrawal. How is it the unchangeable, always visible essence of withdrawal? Is actually you take a distance from the happenings. You take a distance from the happenings. And when she was joining the program and she learned to make space so that this withdrawal could develop naturally further, she discovered that she was able to be taking a step backwards, to be in a more distance, not so involved, so that she felt overwhelmed by it, because she felt like it's all my responsibility and all these kind of things. But when she could make a step backwards and be more detached, a little bit emotionally detached, just withdraw and look at the situation from that angle, she was able to. Then also her creativity, her solution-minded aspects of her were kicking in again, because she wasn't overwhelmed, because she made the step backwards. And she was able to handle a lot of situations, once she developed her withdrawal, and she was not forced by her system anymore to focus on unimportant things. And she was able to really direct in a creative way, in a solution-oriented way, her situations at work. So when you have also withdrawal as your defense, as your inner saboteur, then with this case study you see that you need to create space only for it to develop further, and you can learn that in the NEWEX approach. You can learn that in the programs that I'm offering. And you're very much welcome to join one of my workshops, where you can get in touch for the very first time with it and to see what it works, how it works for you. So use a link for enrolling. I haven't yet planned one but it will happen again. So just enroll for Friends of Inner Voice Power. Then you also get a notification, or once in 2 weeks I send an email. It is actually for when I write a blog, or for when there is a new case study you can perhaps benefit from. So you also can write me when you have a situation for yourself, where you would like to know, hey, how is this equality? So just get in contact with me. Love to hear from you, and I hope you benefit from this one. See you next week again.